Now we are going to study a 5-mark question, that is muscle contraction mechanism. Mechanism of muscle contraction is well explained by a theory called sliding filament theory. What does this theory state? The theory states that contraction of the muscle fiber occurs by sliding of thin filament over the thick filament. So we know that thin filament is made up of actin, whereas thick filament is made up of myosin. Where the sarcomere structure, if you remember, it was like this. The thick filament was in the center and thin filaments were overlapping at the edges. Now what happens? So you know that here is an Z line, and from one Z line to this Z line, this is the sarcomere. According to sliding filament theory, the thin filament will be moving closer inwards, whereas thick filament will remain the same. Okay, so it will come towards very closer. So when it is coming, what happens? The position of our thick, the Z line also will shift from this side to this side, right? So now what is the distance? Only this much. Before it was this. Now only this. So this part is called a sarcomere. So the sarcomere has contracted. So this is muscle contraction. So, and what is reduced? This part which was not overlapped was called a H zone. Okay, so this is actually the sliding filament theory explaining, that is sliding of thin filament over the thick filament. Now let's go to the details of how this is happening. So we know that muscle contraction is controlled by our central nervous system. So first an information or a kind of command should come from the central nervous system so that it will reach the neuromuscular junction. You came across this word in class 10. That means a place where a neuron meets a muscle is called a neuromuscular junction, because the information going to the muscle should finally reach the muscle through a motor neuron. So suppose if you see an end of a neuron like this, this is the axon covered with the Schwann cells, and at the end it is branching to form the axonites, and these are the synaptic nodes. So here it is landing over a muscle. The muscle fiber structure we learned, sarcolemma enclosing the sarcoplasm. It has sarcoplasmic reticulum which has calcium ions. So this part where a nerve ending meets a muscle, this part is called a neuromuscular junction, and this neuron is a motor neuron because it is ending with a muscle. So this motor neuron and a muscle fiber together called a motor unit. So from the CNS, the message reaches the neuromuscular junction at the motor unit. At this end, that is at the end of the neuron, that means the synaptic nodes or the nerve ending, there are actually vesicles called synaptic vesicles. These synaptic vesicles have chemicals called neurotransmitters, and a typical one we are studying is acetylcholine. So acetylcholine is a type of neurotransmitter. Nowadays you may be familiar through the social media about another neurotransmitter, dopamine, right? But here it is acetylcholine. It is released by the synaptic vesicles. So once it is released, it will create an action potential on the sarcolemma. Action potential means an impulse. Okay, impulse, about this we will learn in the next chapter. So it will create an action potential or an impulse on this outer membrane. This outer membrane is nothing but the sarcolemma of the muscle fiber. So through this it will spread and it will reach the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and as a result of this, the sarcoplasmic reticulum will release ions. Which ions? Cation, like a calcium ion. Now we know that inside this muscle fiber, myofilaments are there. They have again the thick filament and a thin filament. So now we know that this thick filament has the myosin head projecting at a regular intervals from both sides. Okay, so this is how they are projecting upwards, and this also we know the structure is like this, and there are troponin masking the site where the myosin head has to bind. So first what happens, the troponin is here. That means when we are drawing the filament structure, over this the tropomyosin is running. On that, troponin is present, masking the binding site of the myosin. So at this time what happens, the calcium will come and bind with this troponin. So calcium binds with the troponin and it removes the masking of the myosin binding site on the actin. Now meanwhile what happens, the myosin head, meromyosin head has got ATP binding site. To this what will come and bind? ATP will come and bind, and ATP will be hydrolyzed or broken down into ADP and inorganic phosphate. And this actin binding site is also here. So now using this energy released, this myosin head will bind with the actin. Okay, before it was masked by troponin, but now the troponin is removed by the calcium. As a result, now the myosin gained energy. It will come and make an attachment with the myosin. So this forms, this myosin when attaches with the actin, we call it as a cross bridge. So after the cross bridge formation, what happens? The myosin will bend backwards like this. It will bend back. It's already attached here. Now if it is bending backwards, what happens? This will pull this filament inside. Here also it will bend inwards. So as a result, this will bring the actin filament closer to the center of the myosin filament or the thick filament or the A band. As a result, we know that now the H zone has decreased and eventually the H zone will disappear. That is the complete contraction stage. Now, before if Z line was here, now the Z line moved here. So the Z line is also pulled closer, shortening of the contraction unit or the sarcomere happens. Now, I band is shortened. You know that I band, what is the I band? Isotropic or the light band, that contracted, whereas A band is still the same. Nothing happened to our A band. At this, after bringing here completely, now the myosin head will release the ADP and inorganic phosphate attached with it. They will go back to its and as a result, myosin will get relaxed. A new ATP will bind here because already this is released. A new ATP will bind, and at the same time it will break the cross bridge because it lost its energy. It will break the cross bridge. Now after breaking the cross bridge, again it will break another ATP, newly bound ATP, to become ADP and inorganic phosphate. With using that energy, it will again bind to the actin where the myosin binding site is there. But now it is in a different position because already it pulled this side. It came down and now attaching to another point. Now it will pull again. So this will continue. Now once the contraction is about to complete, now we have to stop contraction. So during this time what happens? The calcium will go back to the sarcoplasmic reticulum. So once calcium goes back, the troponin will come and sit at the old position, masking the myosin binding site. Now the myosin is not able to bind with the actin. As a result, what happens? The Z line will return to its original position. So that is called a relaxation. The time for this reaction varies with the different muscle fibers. If you do it continuously, the contraction is so vigorous, then we will feel fatigue because of the production of lactic acid. That also you learned in class 10, and this is due to anaerobic breakdown of glycogen in the muscle cells. So let me go through the complete sequence again. First, a message from the CNS will come and it will create a potential on the sarcolemma. As a result, sarcoplasmic reticulum will release calcium ions. Calcium ions will come and bind with the actin bindings, troponin on the active site of the actin and remove the masking effect. Now, meanwhile, the myosin head will bind with an ATP and break the ATP into ADP and inorganic phosphate, and using that energy it will bind with the myosin binding site on the actin. This will form a cross bridge. Now it will bend or by pulling the thin filament or the I band towards the center of the A band. Now H-zone will disappear, the Z line will come closer, making the muscle to or the sarcomere to contract. Now after this, immediately what happens? The ATP, ADP and inorganic phosphate will go back. As a result, a new ATP will come and bind and the cross bridge will break. New ATP will be hydrolyzed again to form ADP and inorganic phosphate, and using that energy another cross bridge will form. But now the cross bridge is forming and another binding site, and again it will be pulled. So this will continue till we want to contract the muscle. So the sarcomere keep on contracting, and later when we want to relax, what happens? The calcium ions will go back to the cisternae of the sarcoplasmic reticulum. So the troponin will come and mask the myosin binding site, and the myosin is no more able to bind. So this will cause the relaxation of the muscle. Accumulation of lactic acid can lead to fatigue of the muscle.